Okay, linear equations. So where do we see linear equations in real life? Well, you actually see them all the time, it's just you don't realise that you're using them. A lot of mathematical concepts and the things that you work out almost instantaneously can actually be shown mathematically as a linear equation. But to give you some examples, if you're playing Call of Duty or FIFA or a lot of games on the PlayStation, the Xbox, any of the consoles, for example, in FIFA, when you shoot the ball at the goal, the trajectory is based on a linear equation and also the movement of the goalkeeper. And if the variables, the unknown variables, for example, the x, the y, the z, the letter, becomes the same, it means that the goalkeeper and the ball will be in the same place at the same time and he'll save the shot. You also use linear equations in air traffic control, and they're used to stop the planes crashing into each other. So there's a couple of examples, but importantly, let's look at a couple of questions and work through them and answer them. So when we want to solve a linear equation, we're actually looking for the value of the unknown. Now the unknown can be any letter, but in this video I'm going to be using x. So I've got 5x equals 20. Now this is a really simple one-step linear equation, and to solve it I'm going to use a scaffolding method. Now the scaffolding method just means I put two arrows on either side of the equal sign, and that's just to remind me whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. And I do that to keep it balanced, because if I take one thing away from one side but I don't do it to the other, the equation is no longer equal. Now, with linear equations, we're always thinking about the inverse operation. Now, all inverse means is opposite. So in this case, 5x means 5 times x. So to get x on its own, I'm going to do the opposite of multiplying by 5, which is to divide by 5. As I said before, what I do to one side, I do to both sides. So 5x divided by 5 is x, and 20 divided by 5 equals 4. And now we've answered our first simple linear equation. Looking at a second example then, this time let's look at it, x over 4 equals 3. Well, I use the same method, that is to say that I do my scaffolding, and I want to get rid of divide by 4, and the inverse, or the opposite of that, is to multiply by 4, which gives me x equals 12. Now, it's the same if, for example, I had x plus 10 equals 20. Still just a one-step equation because I only have to do one thing, and the opposite of adding 10 is of course to take away 10, so that gives me x equals 10. Now that we can solve these nice simple one-step equations, let's look at a few multi-step equations. Now all that means is that I'm going to have more than one thing to do. So I'm going to start off with 4x plus 8 equals 24. So as you can see, this time I haven't just got one thing with the x, I've got two things done to the x, so I'm going to have to do two things to undo that. Still the same method, so I do my scaffolding. Now I need to think of a reverse of BODMAS, so I wouldn't start with brackets. In fact, I would start with subtraction. I don't have any subtraction, so I'm going to start here with the addition. So to get rid of plus 8, I take 8 away, which gives me 4x equals 16. And now you can see we just got a nice simple one-step equation. So to get rid of times by 4, I divide by 4, which gives me x equals 4. What happens then if instead of a two-step equation, I have an equation with more than one unknown? That is to say that it's the same value, but I have it on both sides of the equation. So let's look at 4x plus 6 equals 2x plus 18. Okay, well, it's no more difficult. The only trouble here is I don't want x's on both sides of my equation. So to solve this, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all the x's on one side of the equation. Now, if I take 4x away, remember, I have to do it to both sides. So that means I'll have minus 2x on the one side. However, if I take just 2x away, I'll be left with 2x, positive 2x on one side. So again, I do my scaffolding, and I'm going to take 2x away. And when I take 2x away from 4x plus 6, I'm left with 2x plus 6. And when I take 2x away from 2x plus 18, I'm left with 18. Now I'm left with a two-step linear equation, so again, my scaffolding. I take 6 away from both sides, which gives me 2x equals 12. And finally I divide by 2, which gives me x equals 6.